Buffs trailing 21-17. Montez boots to his left. He's got a man wide open. He throws it. Catch is made. LaVisca, left corner. He dives. End zone. Touchdown. Touchdown, Colorado. LaVisca Chenault. What a great play by Steven Montez, LaVisca Chenault. That made it 24-21 going into halftime as the Buffaloes win their 5th Rocky Mountain Showdown in a row, 52-31. They're bringing home the hardware once again. Hi, everybody. Welcome into the Buffalo Stampede. Voice of the Bus, Mark Johnson, Coach Gary Barnett. Well, a pretty good debut by Mel Tucker's team, don't you think?
I thought it was a great debut. I thought offensively they did everything they said that they wanted to do and the way they wanted to represent Colorado football. They ran the football effectively. And I think we all knew that a young defense is going to have to find a way. And what happened is they ended up feeding off momentum that the offense created. Yeah. So I thought it was a great start. Special teams were also good. But I just thought it was a great start for this football team.
You know, that defense gave up some yardage and did surrender 31 points. But, Gary, they made some big plays out there. 2 interceptions by Mikel Onu, the safety transfer from SMU. They had 2 forced fumbles, one of them a scoop and score by Mustafa Johnson. So, yeah, there were issues out there and gave up some yardage. But, boy, they made some big plays at times.
They did. And I think the fact that they didn't play like it was their first game. You know, most teams play like it's their first game, and this team didn't seem to do that. Early on, I think defensively they were just caught. They just weren't used to the speed of the game yet. Sure. But second half, they seemed to catch up to that. So a lot of teams you see, I mean, a couple I watched over the last 2 weeks made a lot of first-game mistakes, and this team didn't.
That says something, though, don't you think? The fact that it was a clean game, there weren't a lot of penalties by the Buffaloes, they didn't have any turnovers, didn't make any huge mistakes. That says something about Mel Tucker and his staff, doesn't it?
Well, it says a lot about Mel Tucker, but it says a lot about the players buying into what Mel Tucker says. And, you know, it takes both. And he has obviously got their attention, and they played hard the entire game.
Buffaloes get a great victory to start off the season, 52-31. By the way, during this ball game, a lot of alums were on the sideline, including a guy we think is going to make the Denver Broncos, that being Juwan Winfrey.
Man, it means everything to me right now. Like, I've missed this. I'm getting a chill just standing here right now. It's even more special just the fact that I came from this organization. They supported me, and they still support me now. So it means everything, honestly. It's the battle of Colorado, man. It's how we started the season. It's how you build that confidence. It's how you determine the type of team we're going to have for this year. So it's honestly so great that they have this opportunity. So I'm excited to watch them, man. I know they're going to kill. 1, 2, 3, get up,
CSU versus CU is always a big game. We always going to rep CU, always. It means a lot just being on the field. I've never been on the field before. I think this is my first time being on the Denver Broncos field. So for me, it's actually a very personal experience for me, so I'm very excited. CU's always going to try to dominate CSU whenever, football, basketball, tennis, track, it doesn't matter what it is. CU Buffaloes is always going to try to dominate the Rams no matter what. To do it with my team is always amazing because those are my sisters, those are my dogs. I love them to death. So to do it with them is unforgettable. I'll never forget this experience. This is what college is all about. So hopefully CU get that dub. We're going to beat the Rams and go Buffs.
Good to see those alums in the sideline. Buffaloes win their 5th consecutive Rocky Mountain Showdown. You know, a number I know that excites you, 293 yards rushing. Mel said the Buffs are going to run the ball on their terms, and they did in large part tonight.
They did, and Alex Fontenot had a great football game. I mean, he got better as the game went on, and we're going to see more out of Mangum. So I'm excited about the fact that we can line up with the tight end and we can throw the ball to the tight end and that we can run the ball with the tight end in there. So it just makes a huge difference when you start controlling the clock like that.
By the way, when Mel got here, he went out and got some graduate transfers. Mikel Onu, we talked about. Jalen Harris had a couple of receptions, including a touchdown. And also, Arlington Hambright was starting the transfer, of course, from Oklahoma State. Started left tackle, did not give up a sack. Those 3 guys he picked up really made a difference tonight.
Yeah, and I really liked Jalen Harris because he's a leader. There was a couple times out there when he was at the other side of Arlington Hambright, and he was communicating to Arlington about the play. Yeah. And he's sort of taken him under his wing this fall so far, and so I really like this Harris kid. And what more can you say about Onu? Just playmaker, and you turn the lights on, he's ready to play.
We're out at camp early this year in camp, and I said to Gary, what do you think of Mikhail Onu? And he said, that guy is going to show up when the pads are on. He certainly did with the 2 interceptions tonight. All right, next week, the Buffs are 1-0. You got the Nebraska Cornhuskers coming to Folsom Field.
Yeah, what's better than that?
Yeah.
For us and for all the Colorado fans, I mean, it's going to be, everybody's going to be jacked up for this game. And, if we get the kind of game we had last year, it couldn't get any better than that.
Going to be a fun one next week as the Buffaloes are 1-0. By the way, Mel Tucker becomes just the 3rd Buffs coach to start off his head coaching career with Colorado since 1932 with a victory. They get it 52-31 as they knock off the Rams with their 5th Rocky Mountain Showdown in a row. That's Coach Gary Barnett. We'll take a timeout and we'll continue with the Stampede after this.
You have to rub it in, don't you?
Start the party in Boulder. Shotgun snap, Colin Hill. Hit from behind. Ball comes loose. Picked up by Mustafa Johnson. And he runs it in for a touchdown. Touchdown, Colorado. Oh, what a disastrous series by the Rams. Well, that defense gave up some yardage and some points, but made some big plays. There's a scoop and a score by Mustafa Johnson. Back into Stampede, voice of the Buffs, Mark Johnson. He was on the sideline for his former quarterback Bobby Passavento. Good-looking victory out there. Stephen Montez, you were a quarterback. Stephen Montez, I thought, played a controlled football game and really made some nice plays at times, but never made any big mistakes in this one.
He made really good decisions. He was smart with the football. But you got to think about what Colorado State does. They play a lot of cover 2. They play soft. They don't put a lot of pressure on you. And that's difficult sometimes as a quarterback because you want to push the ball down the field. So the fact that he was patient, he took what they gave him, and he made good decisions, what I'd love to see because sometimes we don't see that from him always.
Well, and to think about it, when you think about this receiving core with Visca and Katie and Tony Brown, who, by the way, was outstanding, there's a tendency to think, man, I just want to keep whipping around the ball field. Yeah. And Stephen, I thought, played under control in that regard and allowed that rushing game to really kind of control this contest and control the offense.
Yeah, I mean, they ran the ball so good. I mean, they like Coach said, I mean, we're going to do it when we want to do it on our terms. And the fact that we only had 20 pass attempts and we still put up 50-some points, I mean, that's pretty cool because that hasn't happened around here in a long time.
Yeah, I think Gary made an interesting comment, I think, towards the end of our postgame on radio on the Colorado Football Network tonight. He said, if that continues, that's a change for this team. And kind of the positions on this team that get a lot of attention, those wide receivers, if they are catching less balls, you got to kind of manage that a little bit, I think, as the season goes on.
Yeah, I think you do, but I think as we get into some other opponents, they're going to be playing a little more of an aggressive defense than what Colorado State did.
Yeah.
There's going to be some more opportunities on the perimeter and on the outside to get the ball into those guys' hands.
Well, I think, too, when you think about it a little bit, if you're going to figure out the Buffs are running the ball effectively, going to take that away, you're picking your poison out there because you got some great receivers on the outside there. They can obviously start to eat as well as Montez is able to deliver the ball if you're going to put too many men in the box. This being the last game of the Rocky Mountain Showdown, it was great to have Ralphie out here. We caught up with some of the handlers in the final showdown, and Ralphie's run here at Mile High Stadium.
We're down here in Denver at Mile High Stadium, the Rocky Mountain Showdown. It's a big game for both CU, CSU. Kicks the season off with the rivalry. Fans always show out. There's a lot of energy, a lot of fun and excitement around the game. This game is huge. It brings, I think, the state and both the schools together, some competitive fun. Final showdown down here in Denver is also a big deal. I'm really proud to be part of the Ralphie Handler program. Being part of this game and the CU football culture is awesome. Obviously, leading the team out with Ralphie for the game is one of the greatest traditions in all of college sports, and to be a part of that is really special. It's sad to see this being the last showdown here in Denver. The energy is always great at a neutral site, fans coming down from Fort Collins as well as Boulder. So that energy is going to be great. Awesome to be down here one last time. It's, the beginning of the end. It's been a great journey with the team. I'm excited for this last season. We got a bunch of great new kids coming in. They're going to be really talented, and the program is going to be strong for the years to come.
We weren't sure Ralphie was actually going to get to run. There were 2 weather delays to start this ball game, and they told us that she wasn't going to run. That can throw a team off a little bit when you had a couple of delays like that.
Yeah, I mean, I think they handled it really well, but I mean, that's tough when you come out and you try to get loose, and then you got to go back in. You come out, you got to go back in again. I mean, that's not what you're used to at all as a football player. So the way they handled it and the way they reacted shows a lot about the coaching staff, also shows a lot about the senior leaders.
What do you think it said about this defense tonight? I'm sure they gave up 31 points. They gave up almost 500 yards of offense, but the way they still continued to, there's that old football cliche we use all the time. They kept chopping wood and made some big plays ultimately.
They did. They made big plays when they needed to make big plays, right? With a sack and a score and interceptions and forcing another fumble. So obviously they're going to want to improve on the yardage they gave up and the points they gave up. But if they can keep making big plays and causing turnovers, then they'll be really exciting to watch.
Mention this is the final Rocky Mountain Showdown here at Mile High Stadium. Buffs have won 5 straight, 8 of the last 12, by the way.
You gonna miss this game, or do you like this game being on campus like it will be next year?
I think it'll be a lot more fun on campus. I wasn't crazy about it here in Denver, but you know, it's fun to have an in-state rival. You know, it's always a tough game to play in, but I think it'll be a lot more exciting when it's on campus.
We're going to let this guy do some tailgating next week. We're going to have the Soupy. Jeff Campbell's going to be with us as a sideline. How about Nebraska coming to town next week?
This is why you play college football. I mean, this is, you know, it's going to be a great atmosphere. It's going to be one of the best rivalries in college football renewed, you know, back in Boulder. So it's going to be exciting. It's going to be a challenge. They're going to be a good football team. And but this is why you do it, for a game like this.
When you consider what that game was like last year, and of course the Buffs go into Lincoln, play a fantastic game. Montez finds Laviska Shenault down the stretch to steal one there. That place is going to be a powder keg next week.
It's going to be incredible. I mean, it's going to be probably one of the most electric atmospheres that's been in Boulder in a really long time.
Yeah. All right. Have fun, but not too much fun.
Thanks. Okay? I appreciate it, Mark.
Want you back on the next road game. Buffaloes and Huskers next week, but the Buffs get their 5th consecutive win of the Rocky Mountain Showdown. 52-31 as they knock off the Rams. A guy that was outstanding, Alex Fontenot, becomes the 4th Buffalo to have over 100 yards rushing in his starting debut. He'll join us next year on the Stampede.
Snap, inside handoff, Fontenot, stop and go, and he walks in, untouched, from 7 yards out. Hands off that time, Fontenot has a hole, right side of the 10, nearly tripped over the 5, to the right front corner of the end zone. Hands off, Fontenot breaks the tackle, steps out of it, cuts right at the 10, shows feet at the 4, end zone, touchdown, Colorado.
Not one, not two, 3 touchdowns for this guy as the Buffaloes roll in their season opener 52-31 over the Colorado State Rams back into Stampede. Voice of the Buffs, Mark Johnson. Young running back for the Buffaloes, Alex Fontenot, 19 carries, 125 yards, 3 touchdowns. Just another day at the office, right?
I can't say it was my first game.
How was that for you, though? You seem like you were very confident the way you're running. You were strong with the football. Kind of take us through the ball game.
I mean, really, like at the first snap, my mind was like all over the place. But after that one, I just treated it like practice, like normal, because I know what to do. Just have to execute it.
It's a different deal, isn't it? I mean, you had 11 carries coming into that ball game during your career. It's a different deal when you're out there and realize, okay, I'm going to be a big part of what happens today, isn't it?
Oh yeah, like it was like during the whole week, it like kind of like set in that wow, I'm actually gonna play a lot more than I ever have here.
Right. How'd you get yourself ready for that? Did you talk to anybody? Call Phil or call Trayvon and say, hey, fellas, give me some advice here. Talk to parents. How'd you get ready for that?
No, really, I just like to just keep to myself and just like clear my mind on my own.
Okay. All right. And as a game like that goes on, do you gain confidence? Sure seemed like you did.
Yeah, like as it goes on, you just get more and more comfortable. Yeah, it just gets easier and easier.
You had a couple of touchdown celebrations. Have those been rehearsed, or have they just come out naturally?
No, it was natural. Everybody was pretty surprised.
Because he's generally a quiet guy, as you can tell as we're talking with him here. Now, if a running back has a big day, that means your offensive line is playing pretty well, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, no, I have to thank them for all that because they were getting it done up front.
Yeah, they certainly were. I mean, they were really controlling that defensive front. Buffalo's had almost 300 yards, in fact, rushing in that ball game. Do you guys feel like you kind of set the tone that you can kind of continue playing at this level this season?
Yeah, we just need to just keep doing what we're doing in this season. It should be a good season.
Yeah. Well, the Buffaloes are 1-0 this season. They've got the Nebraska Cornhuskers. Yeah, we're going to talk about that on the other side. But a lot of fans were a little disappointed that this was the final game for the Rocky Mountain Showdown in Denver, and we caught up with a number of them.
Obviously, this is another game between our beloved rivals, CSU. Been coming to this, like I said, since 1989. It's a great venue and a great place to hold it.
Our family has had season tickets for over 50 years, and we've expanded the number of seats, and it's been a great way to extend the whole experience and make the whole experience not just around the football game, but around all the fun before and after the game as well.
One of the reasons we do it is to get the boys involved, to get them outside. We have a lot of friends. We tailgate every Saturday, every Friday night, whatever, at the Folsom Field. We've been doing that for several years. We probably have 50, 60, sometimes 70, you guys think, come show up at our tailgate?
So this is supposedly the last showdown here at Bronco Stadium. I'm kind of disappointed about it, even though we get to play them at home now. I'd rather they host the venue here because I think it's a better atmosphere for the fans and the teams.
I'm happy that this is the last time that we're here at Mile High Stadium. I think it's better on the campuses, on CU and CSU.
It's been awesome in Denver because Denver's Mile High City. It's neutral ground, but it's gonna be cool to like go to everybody's home turf.
Go Buffs!
Go Buffs! Go Buffs!
Yeah, the final time for the Rocky Mountain Showdown in Denver. Next year, of course, will be up in Fort Collins at Campus Stadium. And then there's a break in the series before 23 and 24 playing home-and-home Boulder in Fort Collins. You going to be disappointed that that's not on the schedule here in a couple years?
Honestly, it doesn't really bother me. Just play whoever.
It is kind of fun, though. That's in an NFL stadium like that.
Yeah, I really like the environment.
Yeah. So now the Buffaloes have got the Nebraska Cornhuskers coming up this weekend. I know you don't have history here in the state and back to Big 12 days and all that led up to this series being such a rivalry, but you got a little taste of it last year, didn't you, going to Nebraska in Lincoln? Buffs win that ball game, of course. Outstanding finish to that one. Little game plan perspective. I mean, what do you think of this Nebraska team as you look at them on film? I know it's early, but still, what have you seen from them?
I know that they're pretty big up front, but really O-line is going to get it done, so create some holes.
Now, I tell you what, it'll be on steroids this week. I mean, this thing will be 1,000 times better. It's going to be a powder keg here at Folsom Field.
Oh, yeah, I bet.
All right, go get them this weekend.
Thank you.
All right, Alex Fontenot, 19 carries, 125 yards, 3 touchdowns as the Buffs are 1-0 with a victory over Colorado State. As we get ready for Nebraska, the Huskers coming to town on Saturday at 1:30 at Folsom Field. Coming up next, what a great weekend for volleyball. We'll talk with head coach Jesse Mahoney.
Really cool project with Stampede. About 3.5 years ago, I reached out wanting to potentially do some kind of project with the university. Our idea behind it was to make a beer that would be just a great game day beer. So the nice light golden lager, Colorado lager we call it. A lot of names are on the table as well, but it's just perfect, right? Stampede, we're affiliated with the Stampede. Here comes Ralphie, run Ralphie run. When you think about Boulder, you think about the University of Colorado. But also Avery, been around for 26 years, one of the original craft breweries in the state of Colorado. It was really cool for us to have that identity.
We thought Avery was the natural partner for us, an iconic brand in the Boulder area. We couldn't be more thrilled with how it turned out, from the name to the style to the taste. We're thrilled we were able to get this out in time for the football season, especially this first home game against Nebraska. People are thrilled with it. They can't get enough of it. Just think when you see that, it screams Colorado and Colorado athletics, and it's great.
Well, you just heard there, it's a great partnership between Avery Brewery and the University of Colorado Athletic Department. Stampede is the new brew. Back here in the final segment of the Buffalo Stampede television show. Voice of the Buffs, Mark Johnson. Jesse Mahoney, volleyball coach. What a great weekend they had. First off, you've been here at Avery. Great fun, isn't it?
Yeah, it's great. I've been here with my family. They love it.
Right, and you've had a taste of the new Stampede?
I have. It's very good.
Coach is giving it thumbs up. The restaurant here is outstanding. Come on by, grab a Stampede, grab yourself a meal. Undefeated, 3-0 over the weekend. What a great tournament at the Event Center. Congratulations. You got to feel good coming out of that one.
Yeah, always wins are fun. It was a good opening weekend for us. We got challenged and pushed, just like we wanted to, and came out on the right side at the end.
Yeah, they topped Wyoming, LIU, and then the Gauchos of Santa Barbara in the title match. What did you learn about your team? I know your first couple of competitions. What do you learn about the squad?
I learned we're still a little young. We got some younger kids on the floor, which is okay because they're going to grow throughout the season. We're pretty resilient, which is good to see, and we're going to get better. We're a better team at the end of the tournament than we were at the start.
What was the assessment? What did you do well? What do you say? Well, gang, we need to work on this a little bit.
We need to work on everything, but I thought we served particularly well. We blocked and defended really well. Our offense needs to get a little bit better, but that's going to come.
Yeah. It's the first time we've had you on the show. Who are some of the newcomers we need to keep an eye on before this year?
Sure. So we started 2 freshmen, Jill Schneggenberger, an outside hitter, and Sterling Parker, right side attacker. Those 2 kids are going to have great careers here for us. We have some other young kids that I think are going to see some time as we get going. Megan Hartz is a transfer from Iowa State who came in and is starting for us. So we're really excited about the group.
It was a great weekend winning the CU Invitationals. We come to you from Avery Brewing Company. Do you know where this guy was over the summer, the off season? He and his team were abroad with a great trip to China.
living in America, we all have this idea of what China is like because of classes we've taken growing up and things we've learned in school, and it's definitely not what we expected. It's so beautiful here. There's so much scenery. It's so green.
Going to RDFX, the primary school in Beijing, the #1 primary school in Beijing, just seeing those kids and the way that they responded to us and appreciated our time spent with them and how excited they were to just show off, one, their volleyball skills and two, their school, was a really cool thing to see.
I think my favorite day was probably the Great Wall because, you know, that's one of the 7 wonders of the world. You dream about seeing something like that.
I want to just take pictures the whole time, but honestly, like, just really taking it in, like when I got the opportunity to kind of sit on the ledge and just really overlook the entire wall, not even the entire wall, but miles of it, it was unreal because when else am I going to see that? One of the 7 wonders of the world.
It wasn't just like being on the Great Wall, but it was being on the Great Wall with like your best friends. You know, we were on the Great Wall, like my teammates, like my coaches, people that you spend every single day with, and experiencing something like that with them was actually like, it was kind of breathtaking in a way.
What a great trip to China for the CU volleyball team with Jesse Mahoney as we continue. What comes out of it? I've heard coaches talk about bonding and kind of the team becoming more cohesive out of a trip like that.
Yeah, absolutely. We have 9 new players on the team this year, so to get an extra couple weeks, not only of practice, but really of getting to know each other was really special for us. Beijing is such a foreign place for us. A lot of our kids have been to Europe, but to be to China was really good, and you know, we were a little uncomfortable, which was great. So we had to lean on each other even more. So it was a fantastic experience.
Great educational experience for the kids, isn't it?
Absolutely. Yeah. I think anytime you can get out of your comfort zone and you know, learn about other people and other places, I think they came out of it much more mature.
Now, after a great weekend, the Buffs winning the CU Invitational with those victories over Wyoming, LIU, and the Gauchos of Santa Barbara. Now you got a great challenge this weekend. It's the Pac-12 Big Ten Challenge. You've got to go to Iowa City. You got a couple of very tough matches.
Yeah, we start off with Iowa, you know, which is the host team. They're going to be very good. New coach, a lot of really talented kids. And then we play Illinois, this is the 4th year we've seen them in a row. And again, super talented squad. They were in the Final Four last year. So it's going to be a good test for us.
Good early test. Do you like these cross-conference events like this? You're seeing this in basketball quite a bit. Football does it. You like them?
Yeah, absolutely. It's great. I mean, it's a good prep for the Pac-12, which is going to be tough always. So to see another, the couple teams from the Big Ten is really going to help us see where we are right now and what we need to improve on.
We don't want to put the cart ahead of the horse there, but then after taking on Iowa and Illinois this weekend in the Pac-12 Big Ten Challenge, then you got the Rams coming up, and that's a quick back-to-back type deal.
Yeah, so we're playing Colorado State at Colorado State, and then they'll come down to Boulder. Again, a really great match for us. It's going to be a tough test, and we're excited for it.
All right, looking forward to it. Good luck.
All right, thank you.
All right, Jesse Mahoney, as you wrap things up here in the Stampede from Avery Brewing Company. Come on by, check out the great restaurant, and try the Stampede, a great partnership between the Buffs and one of the great local establishments here in the Boulder area. We'll talk to you next week in the Buffalo Stampede.